Okay, so next week, since they came out with this news about the dollar, doesn't seem to have created any really crazy moves. I've seen bigger moves here on I don't know what the news was here. Australian dollar on the daily chart here, looking back in June here. This here is some crazy ass move down. But we took out this trend line here. So if you're drawing your trend line on closing price, which is the kind of the frames per second of the market, because the highs and lows, we don't know when those happen. That could have happened in the opening of the bar, the close of the bar, but the close of the bar is that's the momentum of the market. It's closing price. There's only one of those per day, same time of day. So it's a uniform linear time count against a static. And look at this, all these wicks up here into the round number again, but really triple whammy. The first trend line you can draw is right there. It's the first indication that, and this is the trend line to break, and you didn't break it. Here was an attempt to break it. There's also a momentum crossover point. If you look to this, this double top becomes a bottom here, and this is where the support is for one last gust there. But if you carry that forward, this should be support. And a lot of people are looking for this to be support too. The bulls are building this is their flag or their wedge. It's going to break out and go higher and just keep screaming. But the problem is that there's a big debate here. And even if you had a buy limit sitting here, you got filled here and you made about 70 pips. And here, if you had sell limits on this, you didn't get filled. But here you did. Retested this. So we finished right near the edge of the day. And for the next 25 pips, I'll be buying. Constantly running a grid of buy orders in here. Just a big pile. Starting beyond the low. Coming all the way into all this. And this could be, it doesn't really matter, I guess. None of these lines really matter in the end. It's really about the fact that it just went down 50 pips, and who doesn't want to buy something on discount? If they can dump it later at a higher price. Unless you're willing to wait. This took about a month to get back to this trend line for this entry. But this trend line got broken. The only last chance for the bulls is to take this launching point high here, draw a trend line out here. So you could make the argument for, well, it's going to ricochet off that at some point. But there could be quite a bit of scalping in the meantime. From here to this here. And definitely going to be buying below that pretty heavy for a bounce to here. So getting in this zone here, dumping. Say you bought one at the market on Sunday night, and then you just lay a bunch of buy limits in here. And your target is going to be ultimate target, say here. Sure, it could go through this phase and then accumulate and then bust all the way up, but I don't think I want to wait 10 days through this drama. I actually want to make money during this 5-day period. I think there's more pips to be made here, even though this looks very like, wow, look at that move. But this is actually more pips if you range trade this than just this one burst down. So these fast, this fast move like this looks very impressive. But think about the amount of money that's made during the people that are able to range trade this. It's just a longer, there's more trading in here. And this is, well, these runs, they're really impressive. But short-lived. Here's 3 days cleanup. But then probably just as many pips in here. Look at this, clean up, clean down, double doji, confluence. So we're coming into the buy. We're coming into all this ranginess now. One thing you know is that after a couple days of really fierce movement, there's going to be some non-clean movement, even though these are moves that are, you could say you're going up, but this pullback here, man, that's really making it difficult. It's a struggle to make money on this run. Even if you bought here, this is quite brutal because of this pullback. Whereas all last, well, about 10 days ago, if you had if you're willing to range trade that, it's almost like they're kind of easier trades in a way, because you can get out, you can go flat, so you can actually accumulate money during this. Now, I think psychologically it's harder to, if you sold here and it came to here, I mean, most people are getting out if they just made that much money. To wait one more day and make to here, but waiting 3 days, you gave it all back. So this is brutal, this pullback. And I'm sure it's way more than, I mean, it actually gave up everything. It's as if it just didn't, this move, you almost could say it didn't mean anything. Like this big run up here, but man. So you expect more of the same. So maybe it does do that. But on the way there, there's got to be so many easy 25, 28, 32, 21 pips, bunch of trades in here next week. But this is a classic phase of the market crushing down, filling this big hole down at the bottom here. So this is the big void that's been filling. Started way back here, I suppose. The void here was for first fill, but then we could still go all the way to here. So another 50 pips. So I'm thinking huge grid system in here to pick up any of the activity here. And maybe it does actually keep going down, but I think all the money for me is going to be just the high probability nonsense that'll probably exist in this 100 pip window coming up next week. But this is always the contest. How far can they push it? Can we make it down to grab the protection orders? People have the bullish bulls have their stops here. Can we go down into this, load up, and dump here? Or are we only going to make it to just kind of fizzle out here? And if it fizzles out, you're prepared for a 25 to 50 pip run to here, and then put buy limits here. So you have to keep engaging the current momentum, the current, here's the 5-minute chart. It's easy to see here what to do. So if you have all your buy limits sitting here and you know they last all day, and we'll stop here, and then every 20 minutes that goes by, put in a order bank down there. Buy stops sitting up here. I guess your last chance to put a sell stop in was that last rally, so you're waiting for an up move to put a sell stop in. And if that happens, as it's going up, you're putting the sell stops, and it's going down, putting buy stops, you're kind of weaving a hedge into it. And it finally resolves. You need a 25 pip move to kick you out. So you're definitely looking for that 25 pip move to let that finish off, and then re-enter when it pauses. But that's my trade plan for next week. Australian dollar coming into this window now.